Good morning and welcome to Now Streaming this morning. I am your anchor, Chukwu Bukaike, and we're glad you joined us today. We've got an exciting show lined up for you, starting from a review of our local newspaper headlines. Then we will dive into the world of sports. And to discuss the latest developments and news with me this morning is my co-anchor, Mr. Godwin Ojiri.
Good morning, Ebuka.
Good morning, Mr. All right, so I hope you had a restful time because this morning we're going to bother a whole lot of people here this morning.
Sure, indeed, and I believe those persons know themselves.
Oh, very well. All right, joining us in the studio now is Mr. Raphael Ojaokomo. He is a social and sports commentator. Good morning, Mr. Raphael.
Thank you very much.
And
thank you very much for having me.
Why you on the different side of the red this morning?
Okay. Anytime I put on the jersey, there's a story behind it.
Okay. All right. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this morning. And also joining us virtually from Delta State is Comrade Abraham Soko. He is also a political and sports analyst. Welcome to the show this morning, Mr. Comrade Abraham. All right, thank you. All right, viewers, please do not forget that you can join this conversation by calling the phone numbers now showing on your screen, and also you can send your comments to us via our various social media handles also showing on your screen. All right, the 2023-2024 season was a roller coaster of emotion for Arsenal fans, from the opening weekend filled with anticipation and excitement to the heart-wrenching final day. The Gunners kept us on the edge of our seats. Man City chasing an unprecedented fourth consecutive Premier League title was a favourite for much of the season. Yet Arsenal matched them stripe for stripe, showcasing the highest title chances in 20 years. Ultimately, the title was decided by the slimmest of margins. Arsenal's goalless draw at Etihad and a crucial 2-0 home loss to Aston Villa were pivotal moments. The Villa game in particular haunts the narrative. A first half that should have seen Arsenal up 4-0 instead ended in a damaging defeat. This fine margin highlights the thin line between triumph and heartbreak in football. Also, to let you know, the Nigerian Super Eagles trash Burundi 11 good. Nigerian Special Eagles, that's the Amputee Football Federation, trash Burundi 11 goals to nil at the Amputee Nations Cup going on in the Egypt right away. And also to let you know that before this second match, their first match, they played a draw with the host Egypt. And coming now to play in Burundi 11-0 with one player scoring about 7 goals. That's wonderful. Viewers, welcome back, and we're now on the sports segment where we'll be discussing the trending sports stories. And still with me in the studio is my co-anchor, Mr. Godwin Ojiri.
Thank you so much, Ebuka.
All right. Also in the studio with us this morning is Mr. Raphael Ojaokomo Rafiki.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. Still with us virtually in Delta State is Comrade Abraham Soko. Comrade. All right. So we shall begin this sports segment with the front of Punch Sports Extra. All right, so the main story has the lead story is there with what a man. Atlanta 3, Leverkusen 0. All right, that's the scoreline, the final scoreline for yesterday's final. And then it says a kicker there says Lukman hat-trick fires Atlanta to Europa League victory, their first major title in 61 years. Wow, that's brilliant. All right, see the story on page 7 of Punch Sports Extra. All right, beside that, we have sorrow for Boniface Teller as Dublin defeats ends Leverkusen's 51-goal unbeaten run. Wow, that's so sad. They've played 51 games so far. Their past 51 games and they've not lost a game. But last night, Atlanta brought it to an end. Rapid 7 has the World Cup qualifier story. It says FIFA replaces Benin Nigerian match officials. Find out who the new officials are when you pick up the copy of Sponge Sports Extra. And there was Sume Lukman snubbed for Serie A awards. So on page 6, Finidi key on winning, not formation. All right. Palmer beats Foden to PFE's Fans Award, and then Olayinka celebrates Red Stars double. That story is on page 6, page 4 of Punch Sports Extra. Page 5 has the story of Poch back on United radar. All right, so I think the current coach of Manchester United
Ten
is
Hag.
yes, is Ten Hag, and United has terminated his contract, so they are looking forward to getting a new coach. All right, below that we have Reds step up Chise's interest. All right, so Isak set for Newcastle talks, and then page 6, the final there has Sadiq wants Sociedad exit, and more on the Nigerian stories. We have the Ampute African Cup of Nations, well, the one we just watched at the break, where Nigeria trashed Burundi 11-0, and then also we have Finidi refuses to reveal salary as Super Eagles coach. Super Eagles fan says are giving a bit of highlight of what they expect from Finidi. All right, so 23 years old Nigerian artist goes viral after being tasked to design the FA Cup trophy ahead of Manchester Derby final. All right, gentlemen, we're here in the studio. So let's look at the match where we saw a few of our amputed special egos trashing the Burundis 11-0. Why the game was going on, we were like scouting for players for Chelsea.
Comrade Soko here.
Yeah.
Those was a beautiful sight to behold. It was a good one to watch. Like we said, behind the scene, like maybe one of them should be invited to the Super Eagles. Maybe he needs to come and teach our players to be able to put this ball behind the net. But they're doing very good for themselves, representing the country very well outside there in Egypt. Like you rightfully said, the first game rather, ended in a stalemate with the Egyptians. And of course, you all know that your second game you need to get a result.
Exactly.
You need to get a result, and they did indeed get a result. 11-0. It's a big one, and it's telling the next person or the next team that this is who you're about to meet. I hope you're ready for us.
And they've qualified in their group. They've qualified to the
next stage.
All right, that was indeed an excellent delivery from the amputee squad. Coming to you, comrade, I just want to know, what did you think they did different? What did you think was special about how that match ended? Burundi, Nigeria trashing Burundi with a whooping sum. I think a player coming with
7
double
goals.
hat tricks.
What is that one called? Is it a double hat trick?
Yes,
So we will call it double hat trick. So, comrade, what do you think Nigeria, the amputee special squad, did different?
Yeah, I think first off, it has to be the talent. You cannot take away the talent from that particular team, because we need to understand that these players are special players because of their disability. So it takes a special talent to be able to perform with that particular situation. So
Yeah,
I think that's a
comrade,
good one.
comrade, with that
And
special
I
comrade,
have to
comrade, sorry to cut you. With
what?
that special talent you just made mention of, don't you think Chelsea FC should come and scout for players here?
I think so. I think we have to. I think some of them can teach Nico Jackson a thing or two, especially that player. So to be honest, because if you come to our situation in our club, we missed a lot of clear-cut chances, and I think we'll be able to learn it too from these players with special talents, Mr. Ibuka.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, comrade, for that very insightful analysis there, and a big congratulations to the Nigerian squad. They are indeed representing us so well. We would be looking up to other sporting stories.
All right, so just in line with that, we come back to the Super Eagles, where the new coach of the Super Eagles team has refused to reveal, uh, has refused to reveal his salary and that of the other coaches, and he says that he's more interested in winning than formation. Because a whole lot of persons are asking, what's your plan? What formation are we expecting you to play? What are you going to do? Who are you calling to the team? And so on and so forth. Well, he has said that he's more interested in winning than the formation, letting people know his formation. And then Super Eagles, a whole lot of Super Eagles fans have been out on social media and on the press and media in total, expressing their expressing their desires from Finidi George. So what's your own expectation?
I don't know what to say because first off, he was part of the team at the last edition of the Nations Cup, assisting Jose Pesero. So one would beg to think, what do you think he would do different from what Pesero is doing? I want to take a cue from Pep Guardiola. Arteta trained under him. If I was listening to one of our sister stations this morning, Alonso at some point trained under him, and then the coach of Leicester City trained under him. Now check these three coaches. What are they doing at their various clubs? Alonso just finished a 51 game unbeaten run,
and just
Arteta missed the EPL by just 2 points, and then the Leicester City man brought them back to
EPL.
The EPL. Now you finishing with Pesero second, good, which means people are expecting you to bring something good to the table. So I am not against him saying it's not about formation but about results. Like Mourinho will tell you, you play dirty game, get the results. You play beautiful and still lose.
All right, so I'll just hold your thought while we take this call. Hello, good morning.
Concerning the discussion on salary of the workers, I believe if we have conscience in this country, we can't be talking on 1,000. It's too small. My brothers, in your world, we had the lowest income compared with dollars. Imagine a young work for the whole month and you are giving the person $40 a month, $40. And things are increasing every day. This wickedness. We have to wake up. This is wickedness. Wickedness. God bless you.
All right, so thank you so much. That's the viewer's opinion on the issue, on the matter.
I'm still on the minimum wage. Sorry, we're going back again to the story of the minimum wage, but it's the honest truth. If we in the city center we are feeling it this hard, now I'm looking from where it's calling from, the caller called all the way from Akure. I'm wondering what the people and the states would be feeling. That's why I said, even if you're asking for 100,000 naira as a minimum wage, I don't think it will be able to address the recent reality. That's me being very honest.
All right. So back to what you were saying.
So he said, I like the fact that he said it's not about the formation but the result. And then Mourinho will tell you, play nonsense and get the results instead of playing beautiful game and no result to show for it. You understand me? But then again, Nigerians were not used to losing. The moment you come, they want to win, and if you don't give them that win, and every Nigerian, like we were saying last week, somebody asked me a question that, why is it that people on the other side, like we're talking about Nwakali being on the bench and being able to study the game before you go in, why is it that the fans can see what is wrong with the team and the coach cannot see it? We knew our problem when we played Zimbabwe and I think Lesotho, and we played 1-1 in each game. We knew our problem was the goalkeeper. But the coach kept forcing that keeper on us until we went to the Nations Cup and decided to bring in somebody else entirely. So people want to see a different team. People want to see a different style of play. We played, I don't know how well we played because a lot of our games were defensive until we got to the final and decided to lock up finally instead of going all out to play these Ivorians who were not even sure of themselves. But because you sat down, and whenever you sit down, you invite pressure on yourself. So, but people want to see a Nigerian team that attacks. and can also defend very well. And talking about him not wanting to reveal his income, the problem with all these people, they think they are doing us a favor by hiding it from us. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Then when maybe they now kick them out, they come and start lamenting and expect people to sympathize with them.
Exactly.
I was listening to him yesterday. They told him they've given him opportunity for an accommodation in Abuja. They gave him a car, and he said he has been going around Abuja. He has not seen the accommodation that befits him. And I said, in my head, I said, what kind of house do you want to live in? Do you understand me? In the whole Abuja, for that matter, you've not seen one. So it's good for them to be able to come out and say things the way they are. Not when maybe you don't give us good result and they boot you out, you start saying, this is what happened. Say it from the word go, so that these people know who they are employing. It's not somebody they can push over. Do you understand? Not the point where you get to and they start dictating who you select for your team, who you bring for your team, and then when the result goes bad. I think that was the case of what's it called? Us having Uzo every now and then as number one, even though he was not giving us good results. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Raphael. Comrade Soko, I will be coming to you. Raphael said a whole lot as regards his salary for Finidi. So my question to you now is, a whole lot of expectations are coming in from fans as regards all we are expecting of him as a head coach of the Super Eagles. His salary is still not being known to us at this point in time. So do you think that there is a correlation between his salary not being known as regards to his expected performance? Do you think we not knowing and at the tail end, like Raphael said, would affect him if at the tail end is being pushed out? I don't know. Do you get that, sir? Hello,
I get it. I think that there's no correlation between his salary and his performance. I understand that there's the need for him to be paid well, and I believe that he's being paid very, very well. But I don't think there's a correlation between the salary and his performance, because we're appointing you for your experience, for your technical know-how on footballing matters, on how you can develop the Super Eagles. And these are separate. This is a separate development. But I agree totally with Mr. Raphael, especially at the time that we're debating minimum wage in this country. What is there for you to be transparent about your salary? The salary is not an Ogoni matter. It's not a secret society. You can come out to say, okay, I am within this bracket. Be honest, be transparent. Even if your employers have told you not to reveal your salary for various reasons, it's left for you to take your own position, take your own step, take your own stance as a man and as the head of the Super Eagles team. You don't have to be bossed around. And I'm totally unhappy with Mr. Finidi. Yes, I supported him to be the Super Eagles coach, because I think personally I wanted them to be. I wanted continuity in the Super Eagles team. Having come out second in the AFCON tournament, I just wanted that continuity. But at this point in time, we have a game, I think around June 7th. There is need for our team list to be out. June 7th is just around the corner. We have a coach. It's not about going about searching for a house, saying that this accommodation is not befitting. That's not what you should be thinking about. Various European teams are bringing their team list in preparation for their tournament that is going to take place on the 14th. And we have a game, a World Cup qualifiers, I think at around 7th of June, and we don't have a team list. The excuse that was given was, I think, because of the injury situation in some of our stars. Right now, we know players that are injured. We know players that are not injured. It's left alone for you to reach out, the NFF, to reach out to them. Are you injured? Are you not injured? I think that there's periodical updates on injury lists. These are information that you are supposed to have. And the team list is supposed to be out right now in preparation for our game around next month, June 7th.
7th of June.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, comrade. Raphael, back to us in the studio. A 23-year-old Nigerian artist.
Sorry. Before we go to that, we made mention of the expectations of fans from Finidi as he kickstarts his new role as the Super Eagles coach. Just to run down a few of the expectations from fans from Finidi George. Some fans are saying they expect him to qualify the national team for the World Cup come 2026.
That's the ultimate.
Yeah, that's the ultimate, because we failed to qualify for the last World Cup. Others say that they expect him to breed or to discover a replacement for JJ Okocha, saying that since the exit of JJ Okocha from the Super Eagles team, we've not had a very good replacement for him. A few others are saying a whole lot of things are being said, but just a few of which we are to discuss this morning. And just to let you know, viewers, that we will look forward to hearing your expectation as you send in your comments on various social media handles now shown on your screen, or equally calling in to tell us what you expect of Finidi George. Just a few of that, sir. Back to you, Mr. Godwin.
All right, thank you so much, Ebuka. Viewers, please do remember to send in those comments, as we are really expecting to hear from you. Back to Mr. Raphael. Like I was saying before, a Nigerian has gone viral, designing what I would call the best replica. Because when you begin to compare this
current design,
the current design and what we have, I would go for Nigerian. So what is your take on this?
Nigerians have talents. Nigerians got a whole lot of talent. But I don't really know where our problem is. But let me not say that the person that is causing our problem has died and been buried. If not, would have gone to beg him.
I'm going to beg the person. But if you check the Nigerian spirit, wherever it is we find ourselves, we're always up there. We're always up there. Wherever it is you find, they said, I think I stand to be corrected, and Igbo adage or thereabouts, so it's saying that if you go to a place and you don't find the Nigerian, run away from that place. It means nothing is happening there.
Exactly.
Do you understand me? And I'm very sure so many people would have put up applications to be able to design this, and a Nigerian was picked to do this. Nigerians are always representing wherever it is we find ourselves. It's just some very, very small percentage that get into the news for negative reasons. And I think if these ones can be blown and put out, Nigerians will be known for good more than they mention our names for maybe illicit issues.
Activities. All right. So thank you so much. So before we go further into the foreign stories, let's bring you back a little bit to the Super Eagles team as we look at in preparation for the World Cup qualifiers matches. We have just like Abraham made mention earlier, Nigerian have their third qualifying match against South Africa on the 7th of June 2024 by 8 p.m. West African time. All right, and then after that, the match against Benin and Nigeria on the 10th of June, 5 p.m. West African time. All right, so let's just take a look at the group stands of the World Cup qualifier, where we the Nigerians are currently. Group C is where we are. We have Rwanda as the top at the top of the group with a 1 win and a 1 draw, and they have 4 points, followed by South Africa with a 2 match played, 1 win and 1 loss, and that with a 3 points. And Nigeria standing currently now on the 3rd position, 2 games played, 0 win, 2 draws and 0 loss, and that's with a 2 points. That's the match Raphael made reference to, where we drew Lesotho and we drew Zimbabwe. All right, coming fourth is Lesotho with 2 points, we drew 2 draws, and Zimbabwe with 2 points, 2 draws, and Benin with 1 draw and 1 loss. They lost 1 game. All right, so back to match the World Cup qualifiers, where we also have the stories about FIFA changing the officiating team, the proposed officiating team for the match between Nigeria and Benin Republic. Yeah, gentlemen, yeah.
They may have their reasons for doing that. Nobody knows, and nobody has been told or given any reason why they've done what they've done. We just hope that the officials of the day on D-Day would be good ones, because nobody wants to go and play and end up shouting, this happened, that happened. So, like I said, nobody was giving the reason why they were changed. So we just take whatever it is that they've given us.
Yeah.
And going down to our game, you just read out the group stages. One thing is very important there. Our next game against South Africa is a must win.
A must win.
It's a must win. Nigeria wins and we go top with 5 points. So it's a must win, and that's why Nigerians are expecting so much, because South Africa are our old rivals. We just finished at the just concluded AFCON. We drew the 90 minutes and won on penalties. So now nobody's playing penalty. Nobody wants a draw.
Exactly.
Do you understand me? That's why in Nigeria we don't know how to lose. Yes, we don't know how to lose. We always want to win.
Always want to win.
I hope Finidi knows that, and that's why at the moment we have a lot of our players who are doing well. We can only speak for those in the attack. Yes, and maybe in the goalkeeping section where we have Nwabale, and then of course Maduka Okoye, who has been doing very well for Udinese recently. The midfield, not really much to say about, and also the defense. But like I rightfully said, we do not know how to lose. So whatever Finidi is saying, you should just know that the end result is win.
Is win.
No
That's
matter
why.
what he's
That's
saying.
why he said he's more interested in
winning
wins rather than unveiling his formation.
Like Comrade Soko said, right now we should be seeing the list of your players you have invited, because I learned he has invited 7 home-based players at the moment. Okay, what about the foreign-based players? Who and who have you invited? We have a lot of them who are injured at the moment. Let's know who and who you've invited. So I don't know why his activities are showed in secrecy. Like Comrade Soko said, it's not a bully, it's not a secret cult. Bring this thing out so that everybody can see.
Yeah.
Some weeks back, Samson Siasa was interviewed and he was lamenting about a whole lot of things. And these were things that we didn't know when he was the coach. Now you are hiding. When they finish with you start
That's when you
complaining.
know,
We need to know the players you have called, if they are the players we need or not.
All right, so comrade, up to you now. So looking at the current stand of the Super Eagles on the Group C of the World Cup qualifier, of what do you think Nigeria will qualify? And looking at that, we have 6 teams in Group C. How many teams are expected to qualify from the?
Okay. From the standings, let me start from your first question. I think Nigeria is going to qualify from that group. But we need to understand that we also have some very, very strong contenders in that particular group. Like, for instance, South Africa performed very, very, very well in the last tournament, in the AFCON. And as Mr. Raphael said, they are our old rivals. And there's need for us to win that particular match. If we are able to overcome South Africa, the Bafana, I don't see us not qualifying for the World Cup. So I think that is our most crucial match. That's not to say that we don't have to take any our other matches very, very seriously. But I feel that South Africa is the major contender in that particular group. So I see us, if we can be able to overcome South Africa with a win in both legs, I don't see the reason why we are not able to qualify, Mr. Ebuka.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Comrade, still on you, there are a series of questions I would want to ask you here. Manchester United have decided to sack Ten Hag, and they are looking up for 3 replacements, and these replacements will soon be named. And also, the Blues camp are still grappling the, I call it the disappointing outing they had, and as regards the dismissal of their head coach, Pochettino. And also Liverpool have appointed a new head coach, and Kylian Mbappe is being awarded the league first top scorer trophy. So looking at all of this, what is your take? First, starting with all of the
three big clubs and their management team.
Comrade.
Okay, let me start with Manchester United. I'm a little bit surprised at that decision to part ways with Tenga, because I'm of the opinion that sometimes you have to give people, you have to give them time. Klopp, I've been in Liverpool since 2015, and I think that is over a period of 9 years. And look at the success he had. That was because he had the time. When you come to Manchester United, they did not make very huge investments, unlike Chelsea. I think before Ronaldo left, he was complaining about the infrastructure of the club, that this club is not progressing. When I was here last time, we still have some of the facilities. We still have some of the equipment that I used as far back as when I left. I think when he left. So he was complaining about the infrastructure. So I'm happy that the club has been handed over to new owners. The Glazers have sold their shares to Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos Group. So I think that investment is going to come up with its own investment. I pray he invests in the club. So I think he has also decided not to keep Ten Hag, and I think he wants Ten Hag to be replaced. So I read yesterday that they have decided to part ways with him. And funny enough, over the last few days, Chelsea also parted ways with their manager, and that one came as a shock to me. Reason being that
as a Chelsea fan, you didn't even know of your.
They did it behind your back.
No, it came as a shock to me. The reason why is that if we had known that he was going to part ways, we would have given him a more befitting send forth.
Yeah, the last game
on Sunday.
Okay, exactly.
Yes, so they would have given me a more befitting send forth. But the truth is that I think he did not even know that I was going to go. So what happened with Pochettino was that I think after the Sunday game on Monday, they had a meeting, and he and the technical advisors in the team, he and the management, the technical advisors, the owners of the team, they had a meeting, and they gave like an appraisal of his performance over the season. And for some reasons, they decided that it was not good. It was not good enough for the investment that the club has made. We need to understand that Chelsea spent over £1 billion on players, £1 billion on players, and this is not just good enough. Coming out sixth is not good enough for the kind of investment that this management have made. But ironically, this is coming at a time where the team was beginning to peak form. We won our last 5 games, and we were able to qualify for Europe. If Manchester City can win the FA Cup, we are going to go to the Europa League. But if Manchester United wins, we are going to go to the Conference League. So this was coming at the time that the team was beginning to gel. It was beginning. We were beginning to be consistent. So it was a really shocking decision on the part of the management. But I understand their decision. So on Klopp, the situation of Klopp, I think the new manager, I think Slot, is under immense pressure because Liverpool and Klopp has a very good playing style. Klopp is a very good coach. He has a very great technical know-how, and he has been able to make Liverpool a very competitive team. So and Slot has a very huge responsibility on his shoulders. I don't know if he will be able to live up to the expectations of the fans. That is yet for us to see. Thank you, Mr. Godwin.
All right, thank you so much.
So gentlemen, before I come to you, Mr. Raphael, just to square to what Komesoko had earlier made mention of, one amongst Cristiano Ronaldo's complaint when he came back to what's the name of the game? Manchester United. Just to know that is it not better the management look into that in improving the facility of the stadium rather than putting away the coaching crew or the coach away? Because I know of a match where a match was ongoing in the stadium, and it started raining and water was dripping in from the into the facility.
And you trust the fans? They really made fun.
They really made fun of it. And just in line with the 3 teams searching for a new coaching team?
Now I can tell you the story behind the jersey I'm wearing.
Okay.
When I said, when I wear what, there's a story behind it.
Okay.
Because Manchester United is letting go of their coach, Chelsea letting go of their coach, and Manchester United is hunting for that same coach that Chelsea is letting go. So there's a lot of stories around Manchester United. But I want to say something to Comrade Toko concerning Chelsea this morning. Yes, the team started picking up towards the end of the season.
Really?
Why? They should have asked why. Because their players were coming back from injuries. And then they started getting results.
Yeah.
Chelsea had the highest injured players for this season that just passed. And then what do you expect a coach to do when there is nothing to work with? And even the ones he had to work with were not giving him good results, like your Jackson. Do you understand me? And then you're building a team fresh from, fresh from the scratch, because there was nobody they were building that team around. If you check before, when you're a Liverpool fan, most of the players they signed newly came and they met people in the team. Then when they settle in, if you check when Arteta came in, I don't think Arteta still has, I think it's only Saka. And then he's about to leave, that he inherited from the last coach that was at Arsenal. But now you see him bringing in people, letting in people go, bringing in people.
Eleni, I think Eleni has also gone.
Jonathan, and then too is leaving now. So that's how you build a team. But we're talking about Man U, who gathered so many players, and a lot of them also. Man U is also on the table of, in fact, if you check the table of injuries, EPL table, Chelsea is topping. Then you have Newcastle, you have Brentford, then you have Manchester United and Liverpool, Tottenham, and the list goes on like that. I think teams need to learn to give coaches time to be able to work. A lot of the other teams are laughing at Arsenal because they didn't win the league and so on and so forth. But check the rise of Arteta. His first season he finished 8th, second season 8th, the third season he came second, and then the season that just finished second with 2 points.
Yeah.
Because he had time to work, take out those he doesn't want, bring in new players in it. We need to start giving coaches this time to be able to work, not just throw them in and out like that. And sometimes some of these players can be very, very funny. They don't want to play for a particular person. You see them playing anyhow, and then when you send the person away, they start playing. You think maybe it's a new coach that came and is doing the job. We need to give these guys time to be able to work, to give you results. And one of the most shocking news online at the moment is the fact that Bayern Munich is scouting Vincent Kompany. Vincent Kompany, who just saw off or went down relegation with Burnley, is being scouted. In fact, what is holding Bayern Munich now is a clause in his contract. If they can get that done with, he's moving to to
Bayern.
And again, Pochettino had good players, but let's not also forget the fact, like I said, more than half of these guys were injured for more than half of the season. Number one, Nkunku. Sometimes that guy, I think he gets injured in his dream. You hear he's coming back, the next thing you hear he's out again. So a lot of them were like that. I think we should have Chelsea, like Conrad Soko said, if they had known, they would have given him maybe and then Man U is very funny. You're firing a coach who still has a cup final to play. There's FA Cup. So you've told him that he's leaving and he's still expected to go and play that game.
I think not that aside, it's to his own credit that he wins the FA Cup. Forgetting the fact that he has already been.
Yes, but do you think he will go there? You will go there with his mind set in making. Let me do this.
The same thing also happened with Bayern. Tuchel.
It
also happened to him.
Well, I don't think Tuchel was told before going to play final. This one was told before going to play final.
Days before going to play final.
Do you understand?
Exactly.
And last but not the least is the Postecoglou, who said something last 2 weeks or there about that the game against Tottenham and Man City was his worst game ever, because he couldn't believe that his fans would support the opposing team as against their own team just to spite the next person. Yes, we know football is about banter, but there's a line. Do you understand? So all these coaches are facing one thing or the other. But those who have invested in these businesses don't have the patience. Even as Pep has been winning the league back to back to back, you needed to see him when West Ham scored and it was 2-1. It was as if his life was going to end. And this is somebody that you know that has been giving you result back to back to back. So I think we need to cut them some slack a bit and let them do their job, because that's what they've been paid for.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. It's been so insightful so far. Well, now let's move ahead, and we still have a few things to look at before we go. One of the major things we want to talk about today now is the English Premier League, which just ended a few days ago. And I want to ask a question here. Said, what's the best thing you think about this year's Premier League season?
Yeah, this year's Premier League. That's why I'll keep appreciating my team. I say my team because I own my full chest. I'm an Arsenal fan. Yes, I'm donning the Manchester United jersey today.
Yeah.
Last season, before I think City won the tournament 3 games before the end of 4, if I'm not mistaken. But like 2012, this season you could see everybody, both from the City end and the Arsenal end, they were on their toes.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had 2 trophies at both ends. We had medals at both ends. We had those that were going to present the trophies at both ends, because nobody knew where it was going to go, unlike previous season where you already know this is where it's going to. In 2012, the helicopter that was carrying the cup was already going to Manchester United, only for them to get a call that a goal has been scored in City, and then it turned and was going back to City. It kept everybody on their seats. And you'll also be shocked that a certain Chelsea was far away in 12th, and with so much gap between them and Manchester United,
and they were able to come back. Right?
They were able to come back and climb, and if care is not taken, they will be going to the Europa League. So it was a lot of drama. And mind you, a certain team called Everton also were deducted about 6 points, but were still able to fight their way back into survival. So this year's league was not one of those leagues where you say, okay, predict your first 4, top 5. This one,
not just Everton, there are other teams.
Yes, Nottingham Forest were deducted also. You could just say this team will go, and then you have Aston Villa going to the Champions League. Last season it was Newcastle.
Yeah.
Now it is Aston Villa going to the Champions League. I think it's a beautiful one, and I know that next season is going to be fire, because I pray all the Chelsea players come to the party. I pray Man U players come to the party. Liverpool player comes to the party. I don't know about Tottenham.
All right, Comrade Soko. I want to get your own view on the best thing that about the 2023-2024 season of the Premier League season, and then in view of a team, one of the team that made this season's games very interesting, Arsenal. What's your overview of their performance and what changed throughout the season, and then finally, what do you think is their newfound strength and their newfound weakness?
We'll start by commending Arsenal. Banters aside, I think Arsenal is one of the most exciting team in Europe right now.
Yeah, that's why we picked them to discuss this morning.
Apart from Leverkusen, who did the unthinkable, went through the season unbeaten. I think Arsenal can easily become the second most exciting team in Europe. They were outscoring everyone. They were performing very, very well. So they were outscoring everyone. They were performing very, very well. So we need to understand that.
All right. I think we lost Comrade. All right, so Michael Anko. What I know you followed through the season.
Sure.
And what's your most significant factor about Arsenal's success in this season?
For me, I would say it is. Okay, I think Comrade is back. I think is in their ability to pick themselves up, and all through the season they were able to sustain the tempo. You know, when the Chelsea side, the Manchester United side would be on, say, Arsenal neck, can they deliver on this? Can they still sustain their lead on the table? Arsenal so far all through this season have shown dominance to the extent in our previous show we've cited very clearly that Arsenal is in their scoring form. And one thing I want to believe is that they hold on to it. But just to now ask, because Rafael have said a whole lot as regards this. Manchester City, however I want to look, a win is a win, and they have carried this cup 4 consecutive times, back to back.
We still have a whole lot to talk about, but time is fast spent. And comrade, I don't know if you're back. Just give me in 10 seconds what's your say. Just 10 seconds, please. What's your last word on
yeah, I was saying, I said Arsenal performed very, very well. They were scoring everybody in the league. So I need to really give them that. They were one of the most exciting teams in Premier League and Europe. And I also said, somebody made mention of the fact that Premier League has become a farmers league, because one team has won the Premier League 4 times in the last 4 years. And I disagree with that analysis based on the fact that this year's Premier League went to the wire. And when we go back to 2022, we saw that it also went down to the wire. Man City won the Premier League with just a point. They came out, they got 93 points, and Liverpool got 92. So the Premier League has been really, really exciting. So you cannot say the Premier League is a farmers league. It has been really, really exciting. But we still need to give it to Man City and Guardiola for their consistency and their experience and their will to get the job done. On Sunday, there was a point that Kudus scored an overhead kick, and everybody felt shaky. There was tension all over Etihad, but they were able to overcome the pressure, and they were able to get the job done. So Man City and Guardiola, they were very, very good. Thank you, Mr. Ibuka.
All right, thank you so much, comrade. All right, just to quickly round off this show this morning, I want to congratulate Atlanta for winning the Europa League. Has 5 goals contributions. Then he has the African Cup of Nations team he was part of the players who won the African Cup of Nations team of the tournament on of the year, and he also was part of the team who won as the second runner-up at the just concluded African Cup of Nations, and he also is also a part of the team that is the second runner-up at the Coppa Italia to Juventus. And so finally he has 21 goals contribution this season for Atlanta in all competitions.
African Football of the
All right, that's the question I want to leave out for viewers. I want to get your comments on the comment section. I will read out your comments and all of your view at the next episode of this show. I say Demola Lukman has to be the next African player of the year. So what's your view on this? All right, so thank you viewers for staying tuned. We are grateful to you for always staying glued to our studio, to our show, and to my guests this morning for always giving us your insightful analysis. Thank you, Mr. Raphael Okomo, and also much. Thank you to comrade Abraham Suko all the way from Delta State. Thank you for always giving us your insightful views on all the sports analysis. All right, to my co-anchor, thank you so much for coming to our rescue and always being here for us. All right. As we look back on the roller coaster of a season, it's easy to feel the sting of narrowly missing out of the title. But let me take a moment to reflect on. Let me help you take a moment to reflect on the remarkable journey we've been so far, from Mikel Arteta's tactical brilliance to the unwavering spirit of our young dynamic squad, the Arsenal young dynamic squad, and they have proven that they belong at the pinnacle of English football, and they have set club records, and they've showcased some of the best defensive performance in the league and battled fiercely against the very best. The margins were very slim and the heartbreak is real, but the growth and unity within the Arsenal club is undeniable. This is just the beginning, and their time is coming. Their time is coming. They will still win a trophy very soon, and when it does, it will be all the best, and it will be sweeter than the trials they've endured together. So let's hold our heads high and look forward to that bright future that lies ahead for Arsenal. All right, so that's all the time we have for today, and we hope you enjoyed our discussion on the local news headlines and the latest sports news. Don't forget to stay tuned in next time for more exciting stories and analysis on the sports world. Until then, let's keep talking sports. Goodbye and have a great day.